Why did he want the files to not come out this badly? Why? Just tell me why.
Why do you always fall for this stuff is the bigger question.
Happening again.
This is
Russia, Ukraine, everything.
I don't think this is the end of John. I am not.
Nobody thinks it's the end of Donald Trump. It could be the end for the Democrats. You're watching it happen in real time. I love how you say, you look at Akeem Jeffries. Oh, it's just a fundraising email. As if it were a Republican, your party, the media would not interpret it in the worst.
Greg Gutfeld completely dismantles Jessica Tarlov and her fantasy that the Epstein files were somehow a Trump scandal. In reality, the fallout is hitting Democrats hard, leaving them choking on their own evidence. Liberals who once feigned outrage over transparency are now panicking as Trump delivers it himself. Welcome to Nurk News, I'm Nurkish. Democrats may have finally yanked the pin on their own grenade. For months, they accused Trump of hiding information, only for him to sign the Transparency Act, exposing every Epstein document. Now they scramble as their own connections come to light, all laid bare by Gutfeld in front of a stunned, speechless Tarlov.
For example, it's amazing how the brilliant Jasmine Crockett thinks there's only one Jeffrey Epstein, and that one Jeffrey Epstein somehow gave money to Lee Zeldin. No, I know this is hard to believe. There is more than one Jeffrey Epstein. Just as there are more than one Jesse Waters, but only one Greg Gutfeld. He was a doctor who gave money, but she knew that. Unless you think she is retarded, and I don't think she is. I just think she's deliberately pretended that she didn't know there might be another one. So when I talk about this is what I say is the big worry about this thing, and I'm for the release of them. You look at how these idiots are going to try to interpret everything in the worst possible way. So if you're caught in that net and your name is Jeffrey Epstein or your name is Jesse Waters, something that could be easily checked out. I'm not saying you're in the files. I'm just saying there's a high likelihood you will be. They will be extremely malicious in their interpretation. So we have to be on our toes. I do think that, what's his name, Galloway? He's right. Be careful what you wish for, because when something seems too easy, it's a trap. And I think you just handed Trump a paintball gun, and you put targets on the Democrats because Epstein, I think 80 to 90% of his donations were all to Democrats. Epstein despised Trump. He was the only elite that wouldn't play ball with him. So, and then you look at like Larry Summers, you look at the, what is a billionaire? I can't remember. Reid Hoffman, you look at Bill Clinton, you look at Akeem, you look at the Virgin Island lady. It's only begun and it looks bad for you guys. I think that this is going to be a fun winter for Trump, because once he goes in on this thing, he doesn't come out. He figured it out. He knows exactly how, when you guys bring it up, it's always going to go back to the Democrats every single time. And pretty soon you're just going to say, why did we do this? This is just like Russian collusion, but it's worse because now it ends with a huge, huge pile of mud all over us. The Russian collusion thing just went away. You guys were lucky it didn't go.
The entire Democrat narrative hinged on the fantasy that the Epstein files would take down Donald Trump. But instead, they exposed their own donors, strategists, and representatives. The evidence is damning. Larry Summers asking Epstein for dating advice, Hakeem Jeffries soliciting funds after Epstein's conviction, and Stacey Plaskett receiving direct texts from Epstein during a live hearing. Over 90% of Epstein's political donations went to Democrats, and the DNC even kept $32,000 after the scandal surfaced. This selective leak strategy was shattered when Trump enforced full transparency, a level Democrats avoided under Biden. The hypocrisy is staggering, and if Republicans had these ties, the media would be relentless.
She's the smartest person they could find. So they sent her to do this. And the reason is this, because they are desperate to make this a story about Trump and Epstein. And the only thing we found out in the last week is that it's a story about Democrats and Epstein.
Correct.
You got Larry Summers asking for dating advice from Epstein. You got Hakeem Jeffries trying to raise money from Epstein. You got Plaskett being programmed by Epstein. They lost the narrative, so they sent out their smartest person. Jasmine Crockett to try to reset the narrative, and it blew up in their face. They may regret going down this road.
By the way,
I think Democrats strategically may have never believed that Republicans would do this, and they may be careful what they wish for here, because we're already finding out that Epstein was in touch with Democrat members of Congress in 2019. We know Larry Summers, the president of Harvard, Bill Clinton's Treasury Secretary, was soliciting dating advice from Epstein. We know he was trying to fundraise with Hakeem Jeffries. I think we're going to find out the Epstein political story has everything to do with Democrats and nothing to do with Donald Trump, and that could blow up in their face.
For days, Democrats claimed the Epstein files would finally take down Donald Trump. Instead, their top messenger, Jasmine Crockett, went on CNN and blew their narrative live. She tried accusing Republicans like Lee Zeldin of taking money from Epstein, only to realize she was talking about a completely different Jeffrey Epstein. Caitlin Collins had to walk her through the mistake as Crockett panicked and scrambled to backpedal on air. The meltdown laid bare just how clueless, dishonest, and incompetent the Democrat machine really is.
About Donald Trump. That of all the people he's associated with over his entire career, this was the one guy he cut ties with over 20 years ago. And he said, I don't want to have anything to do with this guy right here. Didn't talk to him or ever see him again, because he knew what Epstein was up to. And everybody in Palm Beach knew what Epstein was up to. It was an open secret, Jessica. He was trying to steal masseuses from Mar-a-Lago and taught him cold, and he said, get out of here, because he's smart. Because he's a good brand ambassador. And he knows Epstein is bad for business. No person wants anything to do with a guy named Jeffrey Epstein, except Democrats, who, after the conviction for fooling around with a 14-year-old, were on his plane, or on his island, or asking him for money, or at his house. Jessica, here is a photograph of Bill Clinton getting a back massage by a young woman during a layover on the Lolita Express. Is there any evidence that Donald Trump ever got a massage, ever? Jeffrey Epstein, in these files, said Donald Trump never got a massage.
Oh.
And if Donald Trump actually was being blackmailed by Jeffrey Epstein, and he had the goods, why is Jeffrey Epstein texting with a congresswoman during a hearing? Ask her this question. Why wouldn't he just drop the hammer right there? The president took the White House, drop the hammer. What's he fooling around with this congresswoman for? He has it, lay it out. He didn't have it. Trump was the one who arrested him. Trump was the one that put him behind bars. You guys are the one taking his money. Same with Weinstein, same with Diddy, same with Cosby.
Why?
All these guys want his money, and they don't care what he does with little girls. Because as long as the money's flowing, they're okay with it. And think about the guys you build these anti-Trump cases around, Jessica. Convicted felons, porn stars, and pedophiles. You think this is...
Jesse Waters is spot on. Donald Trump cut ties with Epstein decades ago and even banned him from Mar-a-Lago, while Democrats treated Epstein like a VIP donor funnel. The evidence is clear. Bill Clinton flying on the Lolita Express, receiving back massages from victims, everything the establishment media pretends not to notice. The so-called blackmail fantasy about Trump never made sense. If Epstein really had dirt on him, why was he texting Stacey Plaskett during a hearing? Trump walks away untouched. No island trips, no favors, no secret ties, no evidence. Meanwhile, Democrats are drowning in their own receipts. The Transparency Act Trump signed proves he had nothing to hide. S.O. What do you think? Did Democrats completely miscalculate by demanding these Epstein files, only for Trump to expose their own connections instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It truly helps the channel. This has been NERC News.